Mazuma TV back in the building, man. What's going on, y'all? Shout out to Mazuma Nation. Shout out to the Mazuma Mob. We in the building, man. I hope everybody's having a blessed, beautiful, positive, productive day. You already know how that shit go, man. It's Friday on the road to 2K. You know what I'm saying? We about to crack that. What is it? I want to say, is it 1,200? 1,200? Bro, I don't even know, man. I just know that the subscribers is piling up, man. Shout out to the nation. Shout out to the Mob for making this possible. On my way to go get it as always. I hope y'all doing the same, man. All right, man, let's talk about probably the biggest news that's going on in boxing right now, and that's that the IBF has seemingly stripped Terrence Crawford of his world title at 147 pounds and has elevated Jaron Ennis from interim champion to the full champion. You know what I mean? There's a lot of mixed reviews on this situation. Some people feel like they had stripped him a little too early because he hasn't even had the title for 4 months. You know what I'm saying? I think it's been 3 months and some change since he grabbed Earl Spence's title. And they felt like that they pretty much stripped him prematurely. You know what I mean? There's people that's saying that. And then there's people on the other side that believe that it was done justifiably so to continue having the 147 division moving. Now, me, in all honesty, bro, I see both sides of the coin. You know what I'm saying? I could see why people saying that Terrence Crawford was stripped too soon because he was just getting settled in, becoming undisputed champion of the world. Then y'all just take that one belt from him. So if he continues to stay at 47, or if he fights Earl at 47, it's not going to be for all the belts. And if he ends up staying at the division, he might have to go get that belt off of Jaron Ennis to become undisputed again, which may be a good thing, you know what I'm saying? Because we actually get to see a fight that the fans have been calling for. You know what I mean? There's people that have been wanting to see Terrence Crawford and Jaron Ennis face each other in the ring. I think that'll be a dope fight. I think that's one of the most exciting fights to make in boxing, in my personal opinion. So nonetheless, there's several reviews on the situation, but I'm leaning more towards continuing having the division move forward. Because in all honesty, I believe I've had people tell me that's close to Terrence Crawford's camp that the fight may be at 147, but I'm under the impression that it'll be at 154 pounds. I think that IBF got word on that, and most likely once Terrence Crawford fights at 154, I doubt he'll be coming back down. So instead of waiting for him to relinquish all the titles, I think it's best to just take the belt off him just to get the 147 division moving. You know what I'm saying? Because imagine if he hold these belts this whole time. Everybody else that's remaining at 147 is just sitting there waiting, and they already are inactive as it is. You know what I'm saying? So why just add time to the clock? You know what I'm saying? When we could just get the division on and popping while these dudes just settle they business at 154 pounds. I also see people coming out here talking about that Terrence Crawford is he ducked Jaron Ennis. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe that. You know what I'm saying? I think Bozy will tell you that he doesn't believe that as well. I think in all honesty, Terrence Crawford is just caught up in that rematch clause with Earl Spence right now. I think it would have been more of a possibility of Boots and Bud fighting if he wasn't tied up in the rematch clause. Then I think it would be more pressure on Bud. And if Bud still didn't pursue that fight, even after being stripped of the IBF title, then we can start looking at it as, okay, so it's something else going on. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, man, now that Jaron Ennis is IBF world champion, how is he going to go about the rest of his time at 147 pounds? Because he's made it abundantly clear that he wants all the belts. You know what I'm saying? He wants to go undisputed just like Bud just did recently. So the problem is the majority of these top 147-pound guys are with the PBC. They are with Al Heyman. And Boots, from what I understand, he's done fights under PBC. He's done fights with Showtime, but Showtime is no longer in boxing. They're closing their doors after this year. So I don't understand if that means that Jaron Ennis is a free agent. I don't know exactly what the situation is. But if that is the case, I highly doubt that Al Heyman is going to make Boots a priority of fighting his guys because he's not signed with them. You know what I mean? So if Boots isn't signed with PBC and Al Heyman, he may be left on the outside while all these guys fight each other. You know what I mean? Thurman and Stanionis, from what I understand, are with the PBC. I understand that Boots is with Cameron Duncan. I understand that's his manager, advisor, or whatever you want to call him. But he might have to do he might have to join the PBC, man. That's what it's looking like, to grant him the opportunities, because look at it this way. If Boots is a free agent and he's able to move however he moves, Al Heyman is not going to really feel the need to really put him in fights against his guys. You know what I mean? That really wouldn't be in his best interest, because he understands that Boots is more than likely able to beat guys like Keith Thurman at his stage of his career. He's able to beat guys like Stanley Ennis. He's able to beat guys like Cody Crawley. You know what I'm saying? Them guys that are still at 147 and are at the top of the division right now. You know what I mean? But if he signed with Al Heyman wouldn't mind having his fighters lose the Boots, because now he's tied to him. So if he's involved with Jaron in his career, and he has and he's actually somebody that he has under contract, then I'm sure he wouldn't mind, you know what I mean, tossing him a few bones. You know what I mean? Tossing him a couple good opponents, you know what I mean? Because he has, you know what I mean, he has a stake in his career, as you would say. You know what I'm saying? So I honestly believe that Boots is gonna have to make he's gonna have to make a move, man. You know what I mean? Especially if he goes up to 154 pounds, because PBC has the 154-pound division on lock too. Whether we talking about Jermell Charlo, whether we're talking about if he was to get a fight with a guy like Sebastian Fundora, Tim Tszyu, and the list goes on. He might run into an Earl Spence at 154 pounds. That's another PBC fighter. And I'm sure that there's more that I haven't mentioned, but nonetheless, PBC has them two divisions on lock. And of course, after Jaron feels like he's accomplished at 147, he's going to be on the move up. He's a big kid. He's going to acclimate to 154 really well. So I think it's in his best interest to have some type of deal going on with PBC, so it can allow him to get the biggest fights possible, and it'll prevent him from pretty much being shunned from PBC fighters or stepped around by Al Heyman and PBC fighters. You know what I mean? That's my personal take on the situation, man. Jaron Ennis is currently the IBF world champion at 147 pounds, but in order for him, in my opinion, to have a smooth transition on to fighting other champions or getting them big name fights at 147 pounds, he's going to have to find out some type of deal with Al Heyman, because the Showtime deal that he had seems like it's no longer in effect, man. That's my take on the situation. That's my opinion. Thank you guys for tuning in. This is Mazuma TV. Shout out to the nation. Shout out to the mob for tuning in. I'm out of here, man. Peace.